Year 5, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all okay, enjoying the nice weather. It's been quite warm the last couple of days. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed yesterday's English video. Today we're going to carry on with Myths and Legends. Yeah, I can't wait to see all your learning that you've been doing. Let's go to my PowerPoint. So, today is Tuesday the 16th of June 2020 and it's lesson 2 for Myths and Legends. Okay, so today you'll need pencil or a pen, depends what you like to write with. Make sure you're working on your handwriting when you're doing your work today. Paper and the lesson 2 Myths and Legends booklet, and I'll show you where to find that in just a little while. So pause the video while you make sure you have everything ready for today's lesson. Hopefully you would have realised what we need for today, but if not, go and grab it now. Super quick. Super. So today you are going to learn about some Greek gods, some ancient Greek gods. So your LI for today is that I know about ancient Greek gods and I can recall key facts about them. So you'll be able to recall facts about myths and legends. You'll be able to describe different ancient Greek gods using adjectives. And you'll be able to infer information from pictures of Greek gods. Now, infer means to, so you look at a picture, for example. So if it's infer information from a picture, you look for clues in this picture. You look for clues that might tell us a little bit more about that Greek god. You look for maybe some hints that tell us a little bit more about the life that Greek god had or what they were like. So, pause the video while you write down the date and LI. You know this deal now. Just get it done, nice and quick. Make sure the handwriting is good though, because yeah, I can't read if you don't do nice handwriting. So, yesterday we started a glossary. I hope you all did. Because it's really important that we learn new vocabulary and we are able to use them every day. It will help you in future life, it will help you in your SATs next year. So it's really important that we learn some new vocabulary every single day. So without looking at your glossary, I want you to write down the meanings of these 4 words. BC, neighbouring, captivating and betrayal. So pause the video while you write down the meanings of those 4 words. Can you remember? Try not to look at the glossary. This is about retrieving the information that we learned about yesterday and making sure it's at the front of our minds, making sure we remember it and we are using it every single day. So write down the meanings of those 4 words. Okay, so BC means before Christ. It means it's a way of dating the years prior to when we think Jesus Christ was born. Neighbouring, that's, remember, next to, we could call it a neighbouring house or a neighbouring country, a neighbouring school. There's lots of different ways we can use it, and that is an adjective. Captivating, that means capable of attracting and holding interest. So you might have a captivating imagination that holds everyone's interest, and that is another adjective. Betrayal, that's going against maybe a country, a group or a person and doing something against their wishes, and that's a noun. How well did you guys do on that? Did you get 4 out of 4? I hope you did. If you didn't, just make sure that you're refreshing your memory and you really focus on learning the new vocabulary from today and refreshing your mind over yesterday's vocabulary as well. So, we're going to be looking at a word called persistence. We did see it in yesterday's lesson. So I want you to read the sentences below. I'll read them to you and you're going to decide whether their use of the word persistence is correct or incorrect. So, many of the Greek heroes had to be very persistent in order to succeed against the odds. So many of the Greek heroes had to be very persistent in order to succeed against the odds. Was that correct? Or is that incorrect use of persistence? Remember, persistence means to keep going, to keep trying at something. The teacher told Mohammed that his persistence would get him far. The teacher told Mohammed that his persistence would get him far. At your persistence, we've decided to buy hot chocolate for everyone. At your persistence, we have decided to buy hot chocolate for everyone. Is that the right or the wrong use of persistence? Persistence is an excellent quality until it becomes obsession, warned the manager. Persistence is an excellent quality until it becomes obsession, warned the manager. Is that right or wrong use of persistence? And finally, the campaigners' persistence led to more funding for hospitals. The campaigners' persistence led to more funding for hospitals. What do we think? So the first one, I'd agree that this is a good use of persistent. It does say persistence, but it uses the word persistent. They had to be very persistent in order to succeed against the odds. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That works well. The teacher told Mohammed that his persistence would get him far. I mean, I've not really heard that sort of sentence before, but I suppose it would work. At your persistence, we have decided to buy hot chocolate for everyone. No, that doesn't make sense at all. Persistence is an excellent quality until it becomes obsession, warned the manager. I suppose that's fine. It's probably not the world's most obvious sentence, but yeah. The campaigners' persistence led to more funding for hospitals. Yeah, that's right as well. Okay, so we're going to go through these questions. There's a blue zone task for like number 5, and I want you to write down the answers. This is all about yesterday's learning, and yeah, recapping that, retrieval questions for you. What year can we date the ancient Greek myths back to? Write down the answer. What was the purpose of the myths for the ancient Greeks? Write down the answer. Why do we still retell them today? Identify 2 ways in which we refer to the Greek or Roman gods in the modern world. And then blue zone task, why were the planets named after the Roman gods, not the Greek ones? So you will need to pause the video to write down your answers now. Make sure they're detailed, but you do not need to use full sentences. Right, let's have a look. So, what year can we date the ancient Greeks back to? Who remembers? Yep, that is right. 1000 BC. So that's over 3,000 years ago. 1000 BC should be your answer. What was the purpose of the myths for ancient Greek? Now, if I do this, and show, and then we go on to here, and we go on to year 5, and we go on to that document there. So, what was the purpose of the myths? Let's have a look. So, they were ancient stories about heroes, monsters, and gods. Okay, now, if you remember, it tells us that they were a way of making sense of the world and how it began, who created mankind, and why the seasons change, why some people are lucky and why some people are not, what becomes after they die. That was the purpose of the myths for ancient Greeks. Today, we tell these stories because they fascinate us. They're really interesting. And finally, almost, we still refer to the Greek gods using our atlas, and also with our planets. Now, if you were Blue Zone, what do you think? Why do you think the planets were named after the Roman gods and not the Greek ones? What do you think? And that's a question that I'd like to see your answers, and I'd like to read your writing about. Okay, you might need to refresh your mind and read yesterday's learning again, just to help you. So let us have a look. Right, we've got some new vocabulary today. So we have got allies. That's a noun, and that's it's like friends. It's people on your side or somebody on a different side, like a different military side, like a different army, but you are working together for the same aims. Enemies, that's somebody who is opposed, is not happy, is fighting against you. Again, with allies, they are nouns. Often you will see in sentences that allies and enemies are written about together. Cursed, that's when something bad is like, you curse somebody, so you say, if you don't do this, this is going to happen to you. You're going to turn into a frog. And that is a verb. Eternity, that's like forever. There's an unending time. And that's a noun. Guardian, a person who protects or defends something. Noun. So, I would like you to add those words to your glossary. So, make sure it's detailed, make sure you put the definition down, and you are ready to do your learning for today. So, before we get started, what ancient Greek gods do you already know? What ancient Greek gods do you already know? Write them down on your piece of paper. So, let me have a look. We are going to do today's lesson. So, is that? Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. So, you need to download the document. You know where to find it now on the Year 5 part of the online learning website. You've got the date and the LI here. Let's get going. So, this picture is Mount Olympus in Athens. The ancient Greeks believed that their immortal gods, who would never die, lived at the top of the mountain. One was in charge of the sea, whipping up storms and frightening sailors. Another ripened the harvest. That means made sure all the fruit and the vegetables and the crops were ripe and ready to harvest, ready to sell, etc. In the fields, one could shoot arrows of love into the stoniest heart. Another decided the winning side in a war. In fact, every aspect of life was looked after by one of those immortal gods that lived on Mount Olympus. So, we're going to learn about 3 different Greek gods today. So the first one we're going to be learning about is Zeus. So Zeus was the king of the gods. He killed his father, Kronos, in the great war between the gods and the Titans. Zeus was in charge of the sky, which explained the thunder, the lightning, and the storm. So Zeus would make all the thunder, the lightning, and the storms if he wanted to. He was in charge of the sky. His father was called who? Yeah, Kronos. Okay, so Kronos was Zeus's father, and Zeus was known as the king of the gods. So, your first activity for today is I would like you to write 3 sentences about Zeus. Make sure you spell his name correctly, Z-E-U-S. It's a little bit tricky, so make sure you learn how to spell it. And I want you to use king in one sentence, Olympus in another, and Titans in another. Don't copy the sentences that are already there. It wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't learn anything from it. So, write down 3 sentences. You want to pause the video while you do that. Okay, our second god today is Poseidon. So, Poseidon was the brother of Zeus. So if Poseidon was the brother of Zeus, who's dad? Who is Poseidon's dad? So if Zeus and Poseidon are brothers, who is Poseidon's dad? That's right. It is Kronos. He was the god of the sea. He used the sea to help his allies, so his people fighting with him, and it hurt his enemies. That's people he was fighting against. For example, when he argued with a Greek hero named Odysseus, I always cannot say that word, who was trying to sail back home, he cursed him, whipping up storms and frightening his sailors. The Greek gods were not forgiving and used their powers to punish those whom they disliked. You can see how awe-inspiring, how powerful he looks in that picture. Obviously, it's not a picture, it's a replication of the imagination of what Poseidon looked like, because we wouldn't have had this detailed picture over 3,000 years ago. Odysseus was a Greek hero. True or false? Poseidon and Odysseus were allies. That means friends and working together. True or false? The Greek gods were merciful. True or false? Merciful can also mean forgiving. Okay, forgiving is a good word for merciful. So, Odysseus was a Greek hero. That is true. It tells us here when he argued with a Greek hero named Odysseus. Yeah, so well done. So, true. Poseidon and Odysseus were allies. No, that's false. They were not allies. They were fighting against each other. They were enemies. And finally, the Greek gods were merciful. Were the Greek gods forgiving? What do you think? No. It tells us here the Greek gods were not forgiving. So do add merciful to your glossary, because I don't think all of you know what that is. So add it to your glossary for me now. Okay, activity C. Write a sentence about Poseidon and Zeus. Make sure you spell their names correctly and include the words myth and curse. So pause the video while you write that sentence there for me now. Okay, so we've got one more Greek god we're looking at today. So this god is called Hades. I want you to have a look at the picture. I want you to use inference, and that means using clues that are in the pictures to tell us about Hades. Activity D asks us to write down some adjectives, 5 adjectives. What are adjectives, guys? That's right, adjectives are describing words. So 5 adjectives that we can associate with Hades. So we're going to need to look at this picture nice and closely. Is it going to let me? Have a look at this picture nice and closely. What can you tell? What can you see from the picture? So you might have lots of different adjectives that you use, and everybody's adjectives will be different, and that doesn't mean they're right, and that doesn't mean they're wrong. I'm sure they are all going to be right, so I would love to see the adjectives you choose to describe Hades sent to us on the emails. So, Hades was the god of the underworld. Do you remember what underworld means? Because we did have a look at it. I think we looked at it yesterday. That's right, it's the world underneath us where maybe the dead people go. The underworld was where the ancient Greeks believed their dead would spend the rest of eternity. Hades was the guardian of the world and in charge of all the spirits which lived there. He was also the brother of Poseidon and... That's right, Zeus. So, if Hades was the brother of Poseidon and Zeus, who was Hades' father? That's right, it was Kronos. So, I would like you to write a brief synopsis, and that means like a brief explanation about the Greek gods you've learnt about today. Use the pictures next to each piece of information to create a more powerful piece of writing. Really understand the links in the family for the gods. So, I want you to describe the 3 gods we've met today. Just look at the picture of Zeus. Doesn't he look powerful? He's like standing up, nice and tall, really powerful. Poseidon is like, I am in charge of the sea. Hades, how would you describe Hades? Well, you've got 5 adjectives there to help you. So those are your tasks today. Now, finally, there's one more task for each of you guys. Let me just close that. My face is in the way. That's annoying. So, I want you to make sure you answer your recap and retrieval questions. You update your glossary. You answer the questions and the activities in the reading booklet and you send them over. And then, superstars, I want you to write at least 3 sentences using full stops and capital letters explaining who your favourite ancient Greek god is that you have met so far. So we've learned about 3. Who's your favourite? There could be many reasons. It's no right or wrong answer. But you need to explain why. And I want you to try and use adjectives as well. Everyone else, apart from Blue Zone, I want you to describe Mount Olympus in your own words. Use adjectives. You might describe the location. Where is it based in the world? And what they look like and what it looks like. Miss Hewer didn't have a very good day while writing this. But pay close attention to your punctuation in your handwriting. And finally, Blue Zone, you can try the other tasks as well. That's no problem at all. But I want you to think about why you think Zeus killed his father Kronos in the Great War between the gods and the Titans. Focus on what you know about Zeus. Okay? When you guys have done your learning today, let's just add a new slide really quickly. I would like you to send your learning to yr5@grade.harrow.sch.uk. That is where you need to send your work to. I cannot wait to see all your learning. Is that in the middle? Sort of. I'm really excited. I'd love to see your learning. I haven't seen Year 5 English work in a long time, and I think it'd be pretty cool to have a look at. Churchillians, I hope you're all okay. A little Churchill lot. Luther King, behaving as always. I cannot wait to see your writing. I haven't seen your writing for a very long time, Luther King. And Gandhi, my little superstars, I hope you're all okay. Being well behaved, you guys always are. Yeah, I've seen some of your writing recently, but I want to see some more. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget to send your learning to me. I can't wait to see it. See you later, guys. Bye.